Hey Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners. Thank you for clicking on my video again today. My video discussion topic, to see what it is I have to say about 1099K forms when it comes to filing your taxes in the year of 2023. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, because if you are new to my channel and you were just randomly searching YouTube for more information about the upcoming changes in 2023, when it does come to 1099K forms and what it might mean for you, you did find a good video. My name is Miss Whitney. I am the founder of Crown Content Publications, our YouTube channel platform, and also our separate podcast platforms on Spotify, iHeart Radio, Google Podcasts, platforms like that. Most major platforms. You can look us up, guys. Crown Publishing Content. You will see the logo. The logo is on my little channel thing. That's how you know it's me, because I had to learn. It was like other podcasts and business names similar to the Crown Content Publications name. So that's how you can always know that we're us. Our colors are purple, gold, and white. That's our logo colors, and we take a lot of pride in them. Okay, if you might be interested also, because you might want to become a guest later, or you know a guest that we have interviewed on our podcast show platforms, and you want to support the Crown Content Publications movement, you can find tablets that we sell for writers, for business junkies. You can always use a a tablet for on the go to keep up with your notes, to-do lists, your scheduling. That's that logo, guys, I was telling you about. And it says across here, you can't really see it, we're publishing and marketing meet, because that's our tagline. That's pretty much our punchline when it comes to what we do at Crown Content Publications. Publishing and marketing meet. So when you click on this channel, we do have inspirational segments, motivational segments, where we just kind of talk real topics, that can help anybody in everyday life. And other times we are predominantly speaking on segments like the one today when it comes to marketing and publishing for entrepreneurs, independent freelancers, and small businesses. Okay, but the 1099K is going to be an interesting topic today, and I just thank you for clicking on my video, because even when I began to do the research, it was pretty interesting. Another thing, whether you've been following me for a second or you're new to my channel, that I want to kind of remind my listeners, 2022 was really mostly about getting the Crown Content Publications name out there. I started as an independent writer myself. There's things we need to know even as independent publishers, right? This is not that type of segment, but it makes you think about it when you begin to talk about 1099K, because you might make royalties on platforms like Amazon or Barnes and Nobles, right? That's just a few. Walmart, bookstore platforms and stuff like that. You might have income and royalties that you make that you might have questions about when it comes to filing your taxes in 2023, right? Because we're living in that time, guys, where nobody should really be intentionally missing out on credits that they qualify for, on qualifying tax credits and deductions and things like that. So the exciting news is, just like we announced about 30 to 45 days ago, the last time y'all were seeing me on here, we will be interviewing professional tax preparers and business consultants going into the 2023 new year right here on the Crown Content Publications channel. That's another reason why you're going to want to go ahead and hit that subscribe button, so that you are able to follow these updates, and we can be a channel that you already just kind of have in your bookmark, in your subscription section, when it comes to questions you might have about your taxes in 2023. One article I was reading the other day before we got off into this 1099K topic was saying that the IRS is actually urging and encouraging filers in the year of 2023 to actually wait a little later, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too, because a lot of us have been early filers for the past 5-6 years maybe, prior to the pandemic, when tax laws and credits and things like that began to update and change, right? So that might not be a a smart thing to do is what I'm trying to say, and what this article was saying. I will share that article in the comment section. No worries. This article is just explaining how it might be wiser for some of us to actually wait a little later in the filing season instead of trying to be one of those early filers just so you can get your refund a little sooner. You're going to want to definitely talk to your tax preparer, even if you're the type of person that might be using TurboTax Intuit to, file your own taxes and put your own information. What you don't want to do is end up submitting, a return and everything, and then you end up not remembering that you should have submitted that 1099K too for your debit card apps like PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. Not Zelle, y'all. I'm sorry, because I have a list of them right here that we're going to talk about, but I know PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo for sure are like 3 of them. Probably Chime, guys. You want to go into those apps. I know everybody's busy with the holidays and everything else right now. By the way, happy holidays 2022 from the Crown Content Publications family. It's just something after the holidays. Once everybody done ate, everybody done traveled, they're back at home before the new year even starts, or maybe that first week into the new year. Take the time out to sit down and go to all those apps you do have on your devices connected to your mobile banking and stuff like that. And most times they're going to have kind of like an information section. Let's use Chime, for example. And it will let you know whether they have, you can go to their website and download that 1099K form. A lot of us will probably just end up requesting it from our preparers in the office, or you can usually download forms on the irs.gov website as well. I know I'm kind of all over the place, kind of updating y'all with Crown Content Publications, updates and stuff like that too, because I know there are going to be new subscribers, especially when, my mission going into the new year and all through January is to do nothing. It's to, we interview entrepreneurs and authors anyway. That's what our channel is about. Our business is about. We're publishing and marketing me, but specifically in the month of January, only tax preparers, business consultants, accounting, who can bring this knowledge, who can bring these tips and advice to us and to my listeners and followers out there, because a lot of you guys are entrepreneurs and we just can't afford to be missing out on deduction information, credit information, tax credit information, changes that we might need to be aware of before we even go into that office this year. It's only going to help our preparer's job to be a lot easier, right? If you haven't checked it out, y'all, I kind of did a short segment about 2 weeks ago just covering the benefits or the pros that some people find when it comes to using the TurboTax platform too. And a lot of people, it's not just about being able to independently prepare your own taxes. It's also that they do kind of offer on their platform, live agents or preparer agents on their platform too that are willing to help you through that process of getting every piece of information on your return you need to submit. That way you don't find yourself having to go back and do an amendment and your money's on hold, and you're going through all these changes with the IRS in the year 2023. And I almost see it coming, and I'm not even a auditor, I don't work for the IRS, but I can almost see it coming where, compared to the years of 2020, 2021, people just more complained about the backlog, how long it took for their returns to come back. I can see the same type of situation actually in 2023 for a lot of people, because they're not really paying a close. I'm just speaking on the 1099K forms today on this segment, but it's going to be stuff like that, or they're not paying attention to, child tax credit changes and how it's going back to the normal, maybe $2,000 to $2,500 per, dependent, as versus in 2020, 2021, you saw it go from $3,000 to $3,500, or what was it, $3,600. Y'all remember the child tax credit. But we're gonna save those type of topics for my professionals that will be. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're gonna be interviewing those guys, closing out after Christmas and going into the whole month of January. We're going to be interviewing, and kind of have the live chat open in case any of you guys might have questions you want to ask them. This, about tax law changes and things like that. We'll be interviewing them right here on the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. You don't want to miss it. Once again, I'm inviting you to hit that subscribe button, okay? Because that way these notifications are just popping up on your feed when we are going live on those evenings. Most of our lives will be in the evening. That's around the time a lot of y'all get off anyway. I get off about that time, so it works better. And even if you can't catch us live, you'll always be able to go back and listen to our recordings. And the preparers I'll be interviewing will also be sharing their contact information, emails, websites, things like that, in case you want to call them with questions. And they'll also be just promoting their services, because you got a lot of tax offices and businesses and preparers that don't only offer tax preparation services, they also help you to find wise ways to invest that money once your return comes back. And if I were going to go into an office, I would look for an office like that, right? These people already have, money management, budgeting classes, or tools and classes you can take, things they're already on that they're, that they have for their customers and clients to be able to invest in. Y'all know what I'm saying? So we got a treat coming. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I was explaining it first because some of y'all might be new to the channel, or you're going to be new to the channel coming into the year 2023. And our main mission in 2022 was to do these free promotional interviews with entrepreneurs and authors and freelancers, because we just wanted to get our name out there as a new and upcoming business and book coverage platform podcast, right? So I feel like mission accomplished. It was never about the subscribers. It was never about the likes. It was more about, because we all got to start somewhere, getting our name out there as a podcast platform, right? So I can say mission accomplished, and I do want to take the time to thank all my viewers, followers, and supporters thus far. If you haven't ordered you a Crown Content Publications YouTube channel t-shirt yet too, you might want to jump on there, and you can find information on how to order those at www.contentcrownpublications.com. You'll also find a list of services that we offer as well when it comes to individuals who might be interested in independent publishing packages or services that we offer to help you bring those children's books or novels or ebook magazines to life, okay? Most time in the new year, you are thinking new year, new me, new year, new business, new year, new money. Anyway, why not at least check out my website, www.contentcrownpublications.com, and see how our services might be able to help you. We are actually going to be expanding. I told y'all we're publishing and marketing me, but the publishing services is one thing. The marketing is where we do plan to expand in the year 2023. I'm happy to announce I'll be graduating in my own business administration and accounting program here in the next 90 to 120 days for sure. So y'all keep me in your positive thoughts and prayers out there, because I've been really chasing this degree in this education so that I have the credentials that my clients can trust. I have the education and the knowledge that my clients can trust when it comes to marketing and promoting, from my own business platforms when it comes to Crown Content Publications and what we have to offer, not just authors, but entrepreneurs as well. Let's say I'm just talking a bit much and you still really don't understand, even after you visit my website, what it is that Crown Content Publications has to bring to the table. We're finna jump into this 1099K discussion. Okay? I haven't forgotten y'all, but hear me out. Let's say you still don't fully understand what it is we bring to the table and how we might be able to help you as an independent entrepreneur, or somebody that just is really thinking heavily and seriously about starting their own business when it comes to their brand, help with your logo, help with registering that business in your state. These are also business consultation services that we do. They're limited, like I said, but we are going to be expanding that business consultation side in the year 2023. But if you check out my website, you will see a list of services that we already kind of help independent clients, that are interested in independent business or already in independent business, how we help them, and what our consultations look like. I'll be sharing the link to where you can schedule a free consultation. Everybody's first consultation is absolutely free, and it's a whole 60 minutes where you just get 60 minutes of my time to ask me questions, to see if my services might be a great fit for you or not, to see if what me and my team bring to the table as far as being able to help you brand, market, and promote yourself as a entrepreneur, might even be something that you're interested in. And we truly do. Our target market audience is mostly authors, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. Writers, publishers, bloggers, and things like that, because realistically, this is the age of digital technology. People read their newspaper articles, people read their magazines, people even read their books and novels online now. Wouldn't you like to learn how to independently publish your digital works, your intellectual properties digitally? Why not? See, Crown Content Publications is willing to help our clients in a way that not only do they become equipped with the tools to do this work independently, even if they want to be an independent publisher or author or writer or blogger or whatever. Maybe it's the time they're pressed on. They already have 2 businesses or 2 jobs and 5 kids, and they just don't have the time. That's where we come in as ghostwriters, promoters, marketers, and stuff like that for you too, especially on those social media posts and shares and things like this that you're going to need to stay very consistent on, when it comes to spreading the word about your business. Okay, so now I'm going to be doing a separate video right after this anyway, y'all, called 2023 New Year Marketing Tips. So, I do videos like this because even if you're not ever interested in our services, you can still come to our channel or refer our channel to somebody or share our videos with somebody that is in business independently that might be beginners and things like that. But I am about to just kind of do a segment on marketing, right? Remembering the 4 or 5 important P's of marketing and essentials to remember when it comes to creating that marketing plan, when it comes to brainstorming that marketing strategy, right? But this topic today is what you saw, so we're gonna not waste any more time and go ahead and go into the updates that I wanted to give you guys when it comes to 2023 and 1099K form updates. Thank you for clicking on my video. If you haven't liked the video yet, you know what I'm encouraging you to do. So there'll be like 3 special links. I just want to remind you guys one more time before I go into this 1099K discussion topic today. 3 important links I'm going to share in the comment section. You can also find it in the description section when it comes to the services we offer in my website and things like this. Even because when you talk about something like writing for people, I find myself doing curriculum planning guides for parents when it comes to homeschooling. We talk about grant writing. These are questions you'll be able to ask me in those free consultations if you're interested. Content posts, content media management, when it comes to social media, writing those scripts for you YouTubers out there. That's what I do as a writer. But yes, I was just explaining in the beginning that I just started off as a blogger myself, as a ebook writer myself, right? And I just wanted to do something bigger that I could see myself servicing my community, my country, my state, clients from all over the world if it comes to that, and we have been working diligently to build a team to be able to bring these services to you guys. So link number 1 is definitely going to be that website, www.contentcrownpublications.com, for anybody interested in, they think to themselves, you know what, in the new year I can see myself adding a partner or a team player like Crown Content Publications to my payroll just to help me save time when it comes to my content management or my book illustrations or my the ghostwriting services she offers. What is it that she's bringing to the table when it comes to publishing needs and services that she might be able to help me, more understand if I want to become an independent author. See, authors are not just people that lay in bed at night, y'all, and say, I want to write a book tomorrow. These are everyday chefs. These are everyday people with cleaning companies or tailor companies, right? That tailor clothes for people, or fashion designers who may want to bring a book, that they can market with their business too, that actually shows their clients and customers that they do have knowledge, or it gives them more insight, and opportunity to help their clients and customers when they publish whole books. So that's something I encourage for. I mean, if the world was my way, I would say every entrepreneur needs to publish a book, right? Just whether it's a how-to book or a self-help book or a, just more of an informational type of book that helps people get more of an insight about what they do, why not do it? Or a magazine article. We are going to have to get more serious out here, guys, as entrepreneurs when it comes to promoting and marketing anyway, in ways that we can do this more internally and independently, because the truth is, inflation is real, recession is real, you know what I'm saying? And we all are always looking for a way to save a penny or two, especially when we have families to take care of. So just reminding entrepreneurs out there, this stuff is possible. And the more independent you become, the more you learn how to do things on your own for your own business. You will be grateful for things like that later, okay? I mean, that's just how I feel about it. And yes, the very next video discussion topic after this is kind of about marketing tips and strategy for your business in the new year, or a business that you might want to go ahead and start into the new year, because we all have new year resolutions a lot of times, right? And we say, I want to make more money, I want to start a few more businesses and things like that. So we do offer limited business consultation services and publishing services, and that's why we're publishing marketing meets. I feel like this information we're going to talk about when it comes to 1099K forms in 2023 too, when we are preparing preparing our returns to submit to the IRS, will be important for like social media influencers too, like you guys that have monetized channels, or your reels are monetized on Instagram, Facebook, all these different platforms, right? And a lot of times these platforms will allow you to connect your, direct deposit information, because you got to get paid somehow. Once that check is made and you get to 1,000 subscribers, or however it works, or whatever TikTok's requirements are, before you become monetized, there's usually a way that they deposit your money. So I'm not trying to get in your business, but see, a lot of times we use our PayPals, because they or I'm gonna just say mobile banking apps, to connect to these type of platforms just to receive our money. But had we been doing our research all 2022 year long about the 1099K form and the changes and updates to this law, and what it's going to look like for you when you are in independent business that way too, as a social media influencer, and not just that professions like Uber drivers, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart. You've been making money, getting that money deposited into mobile banking apps like PayPal and Venmo and Cash App. You're going to want to pay attention to this video, so you clicked on the right one. It's income like that the IRS is saying that now you do have to report if you made at least $600 for the year on any one of those mobile banking apps. Okay, I'm happy to bring y'all like an update of knowledge that I even went and researched too. They're not talking about a Cash App you got for your birthday, you know what I'm saying, from like 10 different people. That's clearly like a gift contribution type of deal. Money you were sent to help pay that 20% of the portion light bill you didn't have from your cousin Jenny in California. That's not what they're talking about. Money your child's father or mother might have sent you to help contribute to that child and stuff like that. This, they're saying that needs to be reported, or that you may be required to submit a 1099K form with your return in 2023. This is for income, straight like revenue that you were getting on those mobile banking apps, like I named, Cash App. Let me see, because I got a list here. Venmo, Zelle, y'all, Cash App. So Zelle was one of them. Square, y'all know what Square is. Some of you guys got food trucks or whatever reason, because the Square app even has the little card reader you can connect to your phone, tablet, or laptop to receive those payments, even when you're like a public vendor and stuff like that. So that's going to be another app that you need to pay attention to if you made more than $600 in the year of 2021. I'm sorry, in the year of 2022. 2021 is going to matter because the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, this went into effect. What it did is it lowered the reporting threshold on having to file the Form 1099-K at all. Keep up with me. Used to report payments and transactions from online platforms like card apps, okay? This threshold used to be $20,000, y'all. Let me explain what I'm saying. Like, nobody had to even do a 1099-K before the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 was passed. You weren't required to submit a 1099-K form unless you made more than $20,000 on those card app, you know what I'm saying, platforms, right? And I can see how that change was going to come about eventually anyway. Not more so the threshold, but see, as technology advances and now you have mobile banking apps and things like that you're able to receive payments for services or products, okay? Even if you are what you consider a sole proprietor, guys, just an independent entrepreneur. If it's a service or a product and you made more than $600 in the year of 2022, you will be required to report that income on a 1099-K, okay, on your 2023 return. So it went from $20,000. If you didn't make more than $20,000 or more through services, through those card apps, you mean to tell me people weren't reporting that? I bet you they were, you know, especially if that was their main source of, because, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about the difference of a 1099-C and a 1099-K. Now, I'm not going to go into deep details because these are some of those questions I am saving for the interviews with my professional tax service preparers and business consultants and accountants that we're going to have on the show going into January 2023. Remember me telling y'all to remember to hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss it because I will have them kind of like explain more in detail whether some of us can find ourselves doing 1099-C forms and 1099-K forms when we are entrepreneurs in the year of 2023. I'm just trying to save people from having to get audited and go through this long process because they didn't turn in something and they're calling the IRS. Y'all know it's hard to get through to those people once the tax season begins anyway. Why not ask all the questions that you can now or tune into segments like these where we will be going live with tax professionals to ask and have our chat open where you can ask these questions and have all the knowledge that you need for the tax law changes in 2023, right? 1099-C was just like this form that if you made, I don't want to call it that, but some of us call it under the table money, you know, cutting hair or you know, you strippers and dancers out there that do private dances or acts, whatever you got going on for people, and you made $20,000. I'm telling y'all what the 1099-K threshold used to be. You made at least $20,000. You had to fill out, you had to submit one of those forms. But see, when card apps like Cash App and all that stuff came to the scene, now the IRS said, we noticed, or I don't know what they noticed, but I'm just kind of giving a scenario here. We noticed that people have truly been making money, or they do these exchanges with business, or they're making money off of these reels and these YouTube channels and stuff like that, and we want them to start reporting their income. So bear with me, guys. We're finna talk about this a little bit. Somehow, between 2020 and next year, things have changed drastically when it comes to tax laws and requirements, right, for entrepreneurs and things like this. It went from, first, if it wasn't at least $20,000 on these card apps, you didn't have to report it, to now $600. $600. Let me let y'all meditate on that for a second. If you earned at least $600 in payment for service, good, or product in the year of 2022, I can't make this any simpler. That's because you clicked on this video today to learn more about what's this whole 1099K business everybody's talking about. 1099K form that they might have to report on there. Yeah. If you made at least $600 in providing a service, good, or selling a product, and you received that money through card apps like PayPal, Chime, Cash App, we named a few just a second ago, Square, right? Amazon was another one, guys. I said PayPal, Venmo, Zelle. And a lot of these platforms, like I was trying to explain, probably after December 31st, if they don't already, if you haven't already been receiving emails from these card apps saying, hey, you know, we got 1099K here forms here you can download because you are going to need, or, you know, they were already providing us statements. Like, you could always go to Cash App and print a statement, or PayPal and print a statement. So that's still going to be good to keep too. I would, you know, my advice for entrepreneurs, I would definitely get a yearly statement. That helps you more break down too. Did I even make $600 in providing a service, good, or product to the public? Did I make that much money? You'll know once you look at that statement, right? So we don't want to talk about $600 in a month. They're talking about for the year, okay? In total, and it even say it says $600 in total when y'all go look this up on your own time. I am going to share links so you can do more research on the 1099K form yourself, and why you might be required to submit it with your, from what I'm hearing, they're already on it, y'all. They're hiring more and more auditors as we're celebrating Christmas, as we're going into the holidays, as we're thinking about the new year. The IRS is doing their part. They're hiring more auditors to actually catch this. So just a FYI for you. When they go over our returns next year, that's why they're trying to advise people, don't just try to jump in there and be an early filer, because that's what you always did. Make sure that you have every form and that you're reporting everything that you are supposed to report, so that you don't have to go through that dreadful auditing process and be told the same things that I'm trying to tell you anyway. So if you made $600, or you had 200 or more transactions for the year. So that part got me too, and that's probably going to be another one of my questions for when we get our professional tax preparers on the show going into January. Like, what does that part mean? 200 or more transactions? Is that saying that those transactions will still have to, they already clarified the part that if you made at least 600, you do need to report that, but what is this whole 200 or more transactions business? What if you made 200 or more transactions, but you didn't make $600? Are you saying that we still need to report that just because 200 transactions show on that card app, whether it's PayPal, Cash App, Chime? Y'all will see. Just go do the research. Once again, when you start your research, I'm gonna give you an easy thing to type in the search bar on Google, okay? Or on the irs.gov website, you're simply going to type in American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. So, of course, everybody talked about the part that student loan forgiveness might have been included, you know, in these new laws and changes and how people can go apply and things like that. But, see, you also had more things included in that act, like this right here that we're talking about, and how there are changes to the 1099K, requirements for filers. You do not want to have 1 million subscribers followers on TikTok, and you're getting paid for reels, and you're getting all these payments, and you don't report that. that's the simplest way I could put it without saying too much, because we're going to save the really, really juicy information, good information for those interviews I'm going to be hosting with tax professionals. So what does this new lowering of thresholds mean for filers really at the end of the day? Because it was lowered from, if you made $20,000 on cash card apps, to $600,000, it means some will receive a 1099-K form, either from those card apps in the mail, or they'll have to go download them from the IRS website, or their tax preparer might tell them, this is definitely something. Now that you're telling me how you made your money in 2022, they'll definitely usually have forms like that too at your local tax office. Okay, some charge for them too, y'all. Like, they might charge you a small little, I would if I had a because or you can go find the form yourself on the IRS.gov website. Like I said, I believe TurboTax will provide those forms for you guys too. I don't know if they charge for them just yet or not, but you will end up receiving a 1099-K form for the first time. How am I going to receive that? Well, remember when you signed up for that card cash app, whether it was Cash App, PayPal, whatever, you did have to submit an address somewhere to that card app, to them people, just for them to send that card, and your card information that comes with it, direct deposit. They sent that card to an address to begin with, right? Filing taxes has a lot to do with addresses. For those of you that are still waiting on stimulus checks and tax returns as we speak, right? You know this, but that's just a little piece of the pie that matters. Because some might wonder, why am I receiving a 1099-K form from PayPal this year in the mail? How did they? Well, they have your address, because and PayPal and them can see how much you made. I'm just saying, like, why not back your own self by going ahead and making sure you print those statements anyway? Before you even get the form, there's no surprises, because you saw in your statements you made at least $600 in goods, products, or services, okay? Yeah, so some will be receiving 1099-K forms for the first time throughout the year of 2023 during the filing season. So even if you were an early filer and you thought you were just going to be jumping into it, doing it like that this year, it doesn't matter. You might have sold goods, products, and services and had a job or two or three, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now you're not just waiting on those check stubs. You might have been a college student like me too, so you got to wait on that 1099-T. I'm sorry, what is it called? It's not 1099-T. It's called something like that though, y'all. It's like pretty much a document that shows how much you got in financial aid for the year. Stuff like that. Like, some of us have to wait on before this change happened, you have to wait on many different documents before you file, so that, the IRS can see what they need to see, and it prevents you from getting audited, simply put, right? So, like, I was just using a scenario. Let's say you got to wait on that college form. You're waiting on the form from your insurance. I forgot what that one is called too, but we are going to have those interviews with the tax professionals, so don't worry, but they know what I'm talking about. You might get that tax form from your insurance because you were on Obamacare or your Medicaid plan. You want to just report as much as you can so that, your return makes sense. You're waiting on the college one, the one from your job insurance or Medicare, Medicaid insurance, however it works. Then you're waiting on your 1099-K form. So I'm just saying the basic return would probably look like a W-2 and your dependents, or maybe not your dependents, but you're definitely going to have that W-2 because you exceeded, or you made the amount that does qualify you to have to even report your income to begin with. And last I checked, I believe it was $8,000. You make at least $8,000 for the year at a job somewhere. You do have to report that income, but so much done changed over the past 2-3 years. It may be more or less than $8,000, but I believe y'all know how to go. You can only qualify for earned child credit. What is it? Earned income child credit and stuff like that. if you didn't make over a certain amount and things like that. But today is about the 1099K form, so let me stay on topic here. Don't worry if you subscribe, and make sure you tune in when we do these live interviews with tax professionals in the year in the year 2023, the month of January, and going into the end of December after Christmas. Another interesting question I'll have for professional preparers is how this will work for like digital exchange platforms like cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Will people have to report those earnings? Because apps like Cash App, you can actually buy these, you can invest in, is what I'm saying, into cryptocurrency. And we know there's many different types of cryptocurrency, from Bitcoin to Dogecoin to Shiba, I forgot what it is, Shiba Inu, all these different ones. I was wondering, so what kind of form they got to do, right? Not that I have to worry about it. I do plan to get in the cryptocurrency business at some point in the near future, okay? Because I'm one of those. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do think it's a wise investment. We just never know. But because I'm not into that business yet, I just wonder, and I would advise that you guys do your research too if you are a cryptocurrency earner, because I'm telling you, everybody else that received at least $600 in payment for product, service, or good, I know that's with just regular currency, money in America, but I'm wondering if they received cryptocurrency payment for things too, and if it totaled up to $600, what does that look like for those earners, right? For cryptocurrency earners, okay? So it's just a good question that I will save for, or if you have more knowledge about that, feel free to share that in the comment section. I was given some examples of self-employment work that will also be reporting 1099K. Pretty much submitting 1099K forms, like Uber drivers, we mentioned it, guys, Lyft drivers, Door Dashers. Airbnb was a interesting one I saw when I did my research, because I really don't know how that business works either, but I guess these Airbnb earners, also receive payments sometimes through, I'm going to say oftentimes, we just live in an age of digital, not just digital currency, but like mobile banking altogether, even if it's just some type of debit card app, okay? So Airbnb earners could definitely connect their Cash Apps, for example, to their apps, their Airbnb app, and this money from their renters or customers could go straight into their Cash App accounts, right? Something like that could happen in a once business goes straight, they sign the contracts, they find a good customer to stay at a place that they're renting out to somebody, something like that, a payment could end up in your account within an hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, right? So imagine how quickly Airbnb, I know they made at least $600 for the year, not my business, but these are another, I believe the Airbnb app will probably also be sending out 1099K forms. Y'all will see what I'm talking about, and I just thought that was interesting. Like I said, maybe you're just a sole proprietor, independent business contractor, and you've just earned money. What was that app I used to use, y'all? It's an app where you can just find, Fiverr is an example. I didn't want to use Fiverr as an example, but you got apps like Fiverr that, once again, you can connect your PayPal, like one of your mobile banking apps to these platforms, and that's how they get paid to do a service. So, like Fiverr. But it was another one, Fiverr, I cannot think of the name of it, y'all. But this one right here, you can find like help for projects, like all kind of independent contractors on this one. I cannot think of the name of it to save my life right now. But you get my point, and it's crazy. I just wonder if people still, either way, we had to make our money out here in 2022, so I can see how many people probably had Chime and all this different stuff connected to those platforms that helped them earn, because this was the quickest way to get paid or whatever. But yeah, just expect a 1099K form. And expect to report that income if you did have apps like that connected to those type of platforms that allow you to make money. So somebody might be wondering, well, Miss Whitney, what do you mean independent contractor, freelancer, if I sold goods, products, or services? It sounds like just what I said. Side jobs. You receive at least $600 for the year 2022 for them side jobs you were doing. And it got deposited in one of those card app platforms like Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, and all that. You will need to submit you need to report that income through a 1099-K. Otherwise, what could your penalty be? You could end up having to submit an amended tax return with a tax payment. That part. 1 second, guys. I think I have to break down the math for that, or how that makes sense. You filed your taxes. You did not report your 1099-K earnings. So now, not only do you have to do an amendment because they done audited and caught it after you done received your refund. That's why they are advising you guys to wait. You might usually go ahead and file in February, March. Go ahead and wait all the way to April. However long you got to wait. Make sure you got all that information together when you submit it this coming year, because you thought, well, it was just a side job. I only made $600. That's actually the threshold. They're saying that you have to report it. $600 or more, okay? So that goes for side hustles, full-time side hustle, part-time. It's not hard to pretty much earn $600, especially if you do that frequently, you know what I mean, just for yourself, and you're receiving that money through those card apps. The only exception that I've researched this far is that if your side job for some reason it is excluded by law, which you would have to go do that research or talk to your preparer about. How else would you know if your gig, side hustle, or earnings were excluded by this law? Unless you ask those questions or go do the research. But I would want to save my tail by doing that research, so I don't have to go back. Yeah, you could end up owing a payment if they send you the money, but you didn't report something. So that speaks for itself. An amendment plus a tax payment. I want people to know that's the penalty that could possibly come with you not submitting that 1099-K form. Reporting those earnings from those card app platforms. Once again, y'all, asking Bob for $10 to get to work that day is not earning. I don't know. That one probably wasn't a good example, because it's payment for work practically. It depends on who Bob is to you in the company. But I'm saying it's more specific straight payments you earn for services, goods, or products. Okay. So how can you help yourself? Check with your tax professional on whether or not you are probably required to fill out this form. Make sure that when you fill out that 1099-K form, this is another reason you could end up audited. Let's say you do get the form and you did what you're supposed to do and you report these things, but you did not include the, because typos are real, guys. I don't know how many people I've met who ended up with whole penalties, you know what I'm saying, when it came to their returns, and their money was on hold because they didn't spell the company name right. They didn't include the proper income info. They did not have a business address that matched the address that they used when they filed. This seemed like little stuff, but I'm having you guys to go ahead and think about that before we even go into 2023 tax season. You know what I'm saying? Because if mistakes are made on this 1099-K form, according to my research, you will need to immediately rectify this. Get your tax preparer. See, a lot of people don't understand that fee that tax preparers charge you. Have you ever asked yourself, because to understand why you're even paying for something is one thing, but to understand whether what you're paying, that amount of payment is worth paying it. When you do shop for preparers this year, like Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block, whoever you choose to go to, your local tax office, If they tell you, well, we charge $425 here, or we charge based on how much you get back and stuff, that's things to listen to and pay attention to. I'm sure we'll have some tax professionals confirm and pretty much agree with me on that side. Because imagine paying $425 to have somebody prepare your return, and then you tell them, well, look, I need to go back and rectify my 1099K form because the business name was written wrong, or I accidentally missed something when it came to reporting all the income, or my address was different when I first registered that business and I never did update the address of my company, my new business with my current address, whatever it is. Hopefully your preparer would be willing to help you do things like that. That's the whole purpose of paying that fee, not just for them to prepare the return, but if you did have to come back 2 weeks after getting your return because you received a letter from the IRS, or you know what I'm saying, or you need to amend a return, you should be able to go back to that same tax office, to that same preparer. That's what them taking $625 out of your check is supposed to be for, okay? I'm not trying to talk on this video discussion topic like anybody is dumbfounded out there. It's just so many changes and updates and just like advice I feel like I could give to save people from having to go through that long process of wondering where's my return, what happened with it. Simple little mistakes like that, I'm telling you. Company name, income info needs to be exact on those 1099K forms, and also your updated addresses, okay? Because the IRS has made it clear already that they will not be responsible. They will not be doing corrections for people over the phone. I hope that makes sense. They will not, you call and say, well, I know that I got this letter in the mail, which is still something, responsible to do. You can call and ask them about the letter you get all the information you need to about what they are asking you to do to fix that return. But as far as them actually doing the corrections, they're not going to do that over the phone, okay? So you're going to want to make sure that whoever you are paying to prepare that return is also, mature enough, professional enough, pretty much, ready and willing, to help you with those services too, if you do find yourself needing to go back and make a tax payment or amend it because you guys made a mistake somewhere. So that's going to be on you, and I just wanted to put that out there too. You can submit your 1099K form all you want to, but making sure it's accurate as the same with anything else that you submit with your return is going to help you save yourself from audits and prolonging the process of receiving your return to begin with. So because of the lack of future stimuluses, this is just a prediction from accountants, business consultants, and tax preparers already. If we notice, nobody has received a stimulus check in America since some states, it does vary by states, but I'm going to talk to the mass majority for a second. Nobody has really received stimulus payments. Not like the checks we were getting or straight deposited into our accounts like when Trump was in office. And it doesn't seem like, there will be any future ones anytime soon either. So, with that being said, to me, it's wise to make sure that you are receiving all tax credits due to you. I'm going to say it in those words. All tax credits you do qualify for. Making sure all deductions, this is not the year in 2023 to try to run in and out the office just to get a quick refund. I hate to say it like that, but this is not the year for that, y'all. I told you the last article I read, they had just hired 100 more auditors, specifically a budget just for auditors, because they are going to be on that as far as watching and calculating and really looking at returns because of the capacity of fraud that did go on in 2020, 2021. I thought I might talk about ID me, but that's more of a topic I'm going to save for, once again, the interviews I have with the tax professionals and consultants on my channel, because ID me, this new verified system they have, was put into place to help to kind of narrow down who the frauders were, to try to prevent it as well, because it's a way to kind of like log in your irs.gov account to be able to check on your refund and stuff like that, you know. And pretty much it just kind of has, some of it does facial recognition, or you have to submit an ID to prove that you're really you. And we will save those questions for our tax professionals, because they might have some advice and tips for you guys on how to make even that process a little more easier for you when it comes to navigating the irs.gov website going into 2023, so that you can kind of keep up with your tax information and stuff like that. But I mean, feel free to leave in the comments what has your experience been like with the ID Verify Me platform. You know, were you able to easily register? Were you able to easily? One thing I personally experienced, it was like I set up and registered, you know, and then they'll have you put a phone number, because you might want to do your two-step authorization factor. That's like a second level of protection for your identity and stuff like that. So I can't say I'm against it. It's just like, what if you forget your password? Yes, they have a reset password protocol, but the phone number that you originally registered with is where they're going to send, you know, like this PIN code for you to even be able to reset the password. So it was just a question I did. I even asked the IRS myself, like, now, wait a minute. If I have a new phone number, how am I supposed to receive it? They're like, well, do you have the same email? Turns out I had the same email. But even through the process of them continuing to send me a link to reset the password, it was just, I went through a lot to, you know what I'm saying, get my ID Verify Me stuff straight, just because my phone number had changed, or just because, you know, because one of their security questions might be, what was your last address, right? What's the last four of your social and stuff like that. And it was like, all that had changed, not except my social, but, you know, it was like my address had changed, my phone number had changed, so there was really no way for me to reset the password or prove that I was me. That was scary, but I knew I was me. And so I found myself, you know, calling the IRS, trying to update that information with them and everything. And it was a really tedious process, because you got people that call in and pretend like they're somebody every day. And I just want y'all to be, you know, aware and get as much knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Even if you need help with that ID Verify Me process, guys. Once again, why are you paying your tax preparer $625? Why are they taking that much out of your check if they can't sit there and help you with stuff like that too? Not saying anybody is doing it. I'm just saying keep that in mind. You're not just paying for them to process that return, or you're not just paying them based off of how much your return is. There are other services that should very well come with them agreeing to be your preparer that year, if that makes sense. Like, you agree to be my preparer. Any questions I have with the IRS platform, where I can find a form, how to fill out a form, all of that, your tax preparer should be able to help you with. But don't worry, guys, we're going to have lots of professionals on these interviews here soon. I'm happy to bring that to y'all, to the YouTube platform and everything. Remember, those links that I am going to share in the comment section again will be my website. Also, the booking link for those that might be interested in Crown Publishing Content Services on the publishing side or the marketing and promotion side when it comes to your business and kind of getting your own business name out there, branding, logo assistance, all that good stuff. You can learn more if you visit my website, or you can learn even more if you go ahead and book that first free consultation. It is up to 60 minutes. You don't have to talk to me for an hour, but if you do book it for 60 minutes, you do get a free hour that I'm personally willing to give that service to people out here, because I feel like businesses can run how they want to, but business, potential clients should be able to call you and know whether your services can help them or not within the first 15-30 minutes of y'all talking. And that's why we offer a free consultation, you know what I'm saying, to individuals, and that's just how we operate. So I'm gonna leave that link in the comment section. And then the third link, guys, is actually gonna be a link to where if you're an entrepreneur, author, or more specifically a tax professional yourself, and you know you're going to be doing taxes in 2023, I do want to take this time to invite you guys, authors, entrepreneurs, and tax preparers looking for promotion for their businesses in 2023. That third link is going to be where you can reserve a slot to become a guest on my show. Like I said, we got a separate podcast on Spotify, iHeart Radio, and all that good stuff too, where, you know, our listeners and viewers and followers can learn more about businesses and services out here that might be able to assist them either with their everyday life in their household or with their own businesses, straight like that. Our mission, which you'll find on the website too, it's all over there. Our mission is simply to keep the power of business networking alive after setbacks of a pandemic. A lot of businesses had to bounce back. Single parents with independent businesses and stuff like that, you know, Crown Content Publications understands, and that was a big motivating factor for why we started this podcast, these different podcast platforms for business and book lovers specifically. So yeah, if you got a book out there that you're working on or that you've already written and you just like to promote it, I will be leaving. That third link will be where you can go and reserve a slot to become a guest on our show soon. The website is for, if you know, to learn more about our services, and if you want to support us and purchase a Crown Content Publications t-shirt that you can totally display if you end up, you know what I'm saying, reserving a podcast interview. You can wear our shirt, or you send us. We also support small businesses, guys. We'll buy a t-shirt from you if you because I do like to do that, like kind of wear the t-shirts or something of the business I'm going to be interviewing. Maybe they wear their Crown Content Publications t-shirt, and while they're at the grocery store or car wash, somebody's like, hey, who's that on your shirt? And you're like, oh, it's this young lady who started as an author. She got a podcast now. She promotes businesses. Really, what's her information? I'd like to get on her podcast show. I've already been running into this question a lot when it comes to tax preparers. You know, I'm kind of in that world, y'all, because I'm in school for like business administration right now. But at the same time, you know, I have tax preparing experience, so it's hard to explain it. But one of our most popular conversations right now is, you know, I've been hearing a lot of tax preparers say, you know, what are some more creative ways we can market? I mean, a business like that during tax season is very competitive. Some people, they'll offer gift cards or raffle drawings, or they do advances. They do these different things to try to reel in their customers. So I can understand that. And it's like, they even want to know going into 2023 with all these different changes, and them knowing people are going to need their money, and them knowing people are going to rush in to try to file these returns. What are wise ways, them as independent tax business owners, tax return business owners, tax filing business owners, how can they market themselves? What are they doing wrong? A lot of them are saying, even though they're sharing all this information on social media, the competition is still great. So it was an honor the other day to be able to comment under a thread I saw on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, are you guys like, are you getting on radio station interviews? Are you guys willing, because it's still about marketing and how much you're willing to invest to advertise. You might wait to tax season and go out and pass out your cards and flyers and all that too. But is the old way working for you? You know, people are all over YouTube these days. They're all over TikTok and everything. Are you marketing your services on platforms like that? Are you willing to sit down for a podcast interview for an hour? And the response was actually like, Miss Whitney, that's a great idea. That's one thing I can say. You know, because when I go to radio stations, this is how much they charge me for this length of advertisement time, but what is your price for a podcast interview, right? So that story there is not to toot my own horn. That's just to encourage you other any type of independent business minded person you might be. What we have to do, which I'm going to talk about on the marketing segment in a second, you know, because I feel like we're straying more away from marketing plans and strategies. And something like a marketing strategy or plan really needs to, you can try one plan that you put together, but are you going back and reviewing that plan? Are you going back and revising that plan where needed? Is that plan even up to par with what's going on in society and what's needed in the market? If you notice that more filers, you know what I'm saying, use Facebook or something, then yeah, it might be worth investing in you know what I'm saying, Facebook ads or Google ads, right? It's just like things like that you have to think about. So I notice a lot of like self-starting entrepreneurs haven't really got to that level yet where they're willing to pay a marketing team or a marketing strategist or a business consultant that can hold their hand along the way. And I'm just throwing that information out there again, y'all. I can give you more information about how we help people at Crown Publishing Content. We're Publishing and Marketing Me. In those consultations, and how my team, we have a team of people that help you brand, help you get that logo together, help you with the information you need. It's just advice. It's up to you whether you take it, how to sit there and copyright your logo and all this type of stuff too, your trademark and all of this, because I'm sorry, not your trademark, but to trademark and kind of, you know, make sure that you do own rights to the stuff you start. So many people get out here and they start stuff and then they're plagiarized, and you know what I'm saying, their work, their ideas are stolen because we're not taking the time out to really look at that marketing strategy and plan. We're just like, well, I'm going to share it on Facebook, I'm going to share it on Instagram. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that. Then you might need a content management editor for real, like Crown Publishing Content. That's another service we offer. We might say, well, this is what we see with your post. This is what we think you could change. This is how often we think you can begin to, you know what I'm saying? Every client is different depending on what business they do, but this is what I love. This is what I plan to do with my degree. It's been nothing but love. I thank you guys for your support out there. Those that see, a lot of y'all don't, you're subscribed to the channel, but you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram and stuff. That's totally okay, because we're totally, a lot of these platforms we're beginning to market ourselves on is new to Crown Publishing Content too. So our main mission in 2022 was just to get that name out there. Whew, I'm long-winded today, but look, I'm saving that information on the marketing side more for my next segment. Now, if you're just interested in what I do, my early works as a writer, it's like, how did you go from self-published author to wanting to write and conduct and do, I don't want to say forms, but what I do is like, I'll write, like, it's not just novels and books and stuff like that anymore. I now, you know what I'm saying, might be a ghostwriter behind the scene for bloggers, for YouTube channel creators, content creators, right? They know what they want to talk about, but they oftentimes will sit there and pay me to write the script or whatever. You know, social media influencers, right, who constantly are needing new script ideas or whatever. That too. Now, this is new, but comedians saying, hey, have you ever thought about writing comedial script? And I am a funny person too. Outside of, like, I'm just a natural funny person. I had never thought about that. But my point is, the world, when you begin to write and you love to write, like, you don't have to stop at just poetry and books and, like, there's nothing wrong with that. I know people they do that full time. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's how they make their income, and they're very dedicated and passionate about what they do. But I'm saying, like, how the world of writing, that'll be a part of my testimony I tell later, just loving to write as a whole, you know, resumes or business document, helping you get that business plan together. I'm like, okay, as a writer, these are opportunities I don't want to miss out on, so I definitely throw those services, opportunities out there for y'all. It's on you if you do it or not, but just having that skill helps me when it comes to, I don't pay anybody to write anything for me at Crown Publishing Content. I'm not saying I might not get to that level, but that was that example I was trying to give you guys. The more you can independently do for your own business during these times and days, you're better off. You're saving a lot of money. The point is to make more money than you are losing. So, and it shouldn't take tax season every year for us to just look at it. Are you constantly revising that marketing plan and strategy? So we're going to talk about that on the next video. Thank y'all for clicking on my video to see what it is I had to say about, I didn't mean to go this long, The 1099K form, you can add your opinions and comments in the comment section if you'd like to do if you'd like for me to do a part 2, or if you want to throw in some questions that you would like to see me ask professionals when they come on the show soon, email those to me, y'all, at crowncontentpublications@aol.com. I'm definitely going to read them and go through them, straight like that. So we thank you for your support. I'm also going to leave the link to our separate, I said just 3 links, I'm going to leave a 4th one, our separate, because I was telling y'all we're on Spotify and all that good stuff too. Our name on that platform is Crown Publishing Content. I'm going to leave the link so you can check out, because maybe you don't know if you want to reserve a slot to become a guest for an interview to promote your business yet. But I am going to leave the link to where you can tune in to previously recorded interviews with entrepreneurs and authors just like you that we worked with earlier in 2022. So you don't want to miss that either. Feel free to go check us out, check out that website and stuff like that. And Happy New Year and holidays to you guys for my new subscribers and new followers. And until next time, remember what we were telling you about the 1099K forms. Always go back and reference to this if you need to. You can send it to a friend or buddy. And we'll see y'all on the next video.